For 1 week each year, the Australian motorsport fraternity descends on Tasmania for one of the most spectacular events on the calendar, Targa Tasmania, a 2,000 kilometre rally encompassing 40 stages, hundreds of competitors and some of the best scenery Australia has to offer. The Targa event shines a light on some of the best roads in the country, roads that everyday punters can travel on outside the annual race week in April. Driving Porsche's new 911 Carrera, we recently charted some of the most popular stages of the event for our very own Targa tour. The journey starts from Launceston in Tasmania's north, heading west to Sheffield and down the west coast to Strahan and Queenstown. So we're now a couple of hours into our journey from Launceston, and the trip so far really has been amazing. Just the scenery alone, every corner you turn there's something different to look at. But behind me is what we really came here for. We're just outside Cradle Mountain and some of the best roads in Tasmania, including some of the Targa Tasmania stages. Let's go get into it. The Targa event attracts some of the biggest names in motorsport, but the reality is that anyone can take on the winding roads at their own speed. There's little traffic apart from the occasional camper van, and the roads are well signposted. If you're keen on driving, make sure you add the west coast of Tasmania to your bucket list. Now, if you're fortunate enough to find yourself down in this part of the country, let's face it, you're really not going to pick all that bad a time of year or really a bad car on these roads, because it's just that sort of scenery. But we've really hit the jackpot. We're visiting in February, so it's mid-20s, sunny days all day. And we're driving arguably the sports car king of them all, Porsche's 911. So it makes for a brilliant combination and really enhances what is already a really pretty backdrop. The roads themselves are fantastic. I mean, we're driving through some really nice winding country roads. They quickly turn into mountain passes. The reality is though, this is like the main thoroughfare through much of the western coast of Tasmania. So we're heading from Launceston down to Strahan, right around the Franklin River region, and in between we're taking in a couple of different Targa Tasmania stages. There's plenty to look at, there's plenty of roadside stops along the way, plenty of quirky little shops. That seems to be a real theme here in Tassie, and also lots of wildlife, so you've got to keep your eyes peeled. Cranking out a healthy 309 kilowatts from its newly developed 3-litre turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, the 911 is a perfect match for Tassie roads. Its sporty pretensions are matched with compliant suspension and a high level of refinement for a sports car. It also makes a pretty decent noise through the Tasmanian woods. Not surprisingly, the 911 revels in the conditions as we pass through the towns of Rosebery, through Tulla and the Middlesex Plains and towards Strahan. If you're a driving enthusiast, well, this place should definitely be on your radar. Keep in mind that you're taking in Targa Tasmania and some really beautiful roads in general. Unlike Targa, there is a speed limit you do have to adhere to, but in saying that, the roads are fairly lightly populated and there's a nice mix of driving, nice tight windy bends and some country roads in between. We arrive in Strahan nearly a full day and about 400 kilometres from our starting point. With Queenstown and more magnificent Targa roads on our doorstep, it becomes obvious that Tassie is definitely due for a return visit. Whether you're a motorsport enthusiast or you just enjoy getting behind the wheel, I can safely say you will enjoy the west coast of Tasmania. The Targa roads today have been spectacular and the backdrop in general is just gorgeous. Definitely worth ticking off your bucket list.